Greetings, my fellow freedom loving sovereign thinkers. This is LL3's newest podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the beautiful swampy mangroves of South Florida, and today's date, Wednesday, May 24th, 2017. Yes, it's cleared up. Like some clouds came in and it's cleared again. It's warm as usual. And plus, I said and plus at the same time. At CJ's Lounge, located at 400 Southwest 1st Avenue along the New River of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Southwest corner where the Andrews Avenue Bridge meets. And the New River Yacht Club, where the Club Squeeze used to be. So, I noticed yesterday I was checking on some more information about what's going on in Manchester. And I'm not the only one that said it was order out of chaos, or other words, a New World Order agenda. And it was really disturbing, especially with Theresa May. She did talk about censoring and regulating the internet, or taxing, in Britain. Especially when she tried to use the whole thing using terrorists as part of her sales pitch. And now, I see that as a possible reality. It's going to be a great excuse of what happened. There's a lot of videos in there that didn't even add up. I'm going to add a called UK column. And they really did a great job on analyzing key questions from the Manchester bombing, and 21st Century actually linked it, and I thank them for that. Good site, by the way. Check it out. And that's why I'm always vigilant in these areas. I'm not some expert. Like I said, I know I'm probably repeating myself. Forgive me, friends. Always got to examine everything a lot broader than what it is. Yes, we should all pray for Manchester, but pray for the world when it comes to tyranny and the multiple avenues. I don't see people pray for Yemen. A lot of innocent women and children being slaughtered by a foreign tyrant. How come that's not in there? An instance that happened in Kenya, Nigeria, Chad. A lot of bloodshed happening in that called the Dark Continent. No one's caring about that. I can go on and on and on. I definitely want to put that video out there so you can see a lot bigger than what it is. And I just like checking this one video out. Daily Sheeple talked about an article from The Intercept. And we're going to have a couple of them pertain to that. So it may not be a long episode. So it's about Donald Trump, which is supporting the murderous drug war. So he is pro-genocide. Okay, when it comes to drug addicts. So hopefully you folks out there, all you worshipers of Donald Trump, better pay a very good attention. Even to you haters. Because the candidates you supported almost think the same way. Control every single one of you. But it's just a prime example. And it says here from The Intercept by Jeremy Skyhill, which, let you know, Intercept does need donations. So please go to intercept.com. I'll probably add that to the footnotes as well, so I could give them my love and support. Good stuff, man. I have to admit, they did a good job. They're very nonpartisan as well. So that's the kind of news organizations I support, my friends, and you should too. and because they see things with facts, merits, not in my opinion or these dumbed down experts you see on the lamestream media. So this one here from the Intercept came out yesterday. It says here Trump called Rodrigo Duterte to congratulate him on his murderous drug war. You are doing an amazing job. As a reads here in a phone call from the White House late last month, U.S. President Donald Trump heaped praise on Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte, one of the world's most murderous heads of state, for doing what Trump called an unbelievable job in his war on drugs. Trump offered an unqualified endorsement of Duterte's bloody extermination campaign against suspected drug dealers and users. So remember, suspected, kind of, sort of. Assumptuous. Assume. Guess. I will proceed. Which has included open calls for extrajudicial murders and promise of pardons and immunity for the killers. You're a good man, Trump told Duterte. According to an official transcript, which is a link for that, of the April 29th call produced by the Philippine Department of Foreign Affairs and obtained by The Intercept. Keep up the good work, Trump told Duterte. You're doing an amazing job. Trump began the call by telling Duterte, you don't sleep much, you're just like me, before quickly pivoting to the strong man's drug war. I just wanted to congratulate you because I am hearing of an unbelievable job on the drug problem, Trump told Duterte at the beginning of their call, according to the document. Many countries have the problem. We have a problem, but what a great job you are doing. I just want to call you to tell you that. Man-child rhetoric, I would say, right? Thank you, Mr. President, replied Duterte. This is the scourge of my nation now, and I have to do something to preserve the Filipino nation. The transcript, which contains numerous typographical errors, was authenticated by well-placed sources in the palace and the Department of Foreign Affairs by reporters at the Manila-based news outlet Rappler, which collaborated with The Intercept on this story. Since Duterte took office in June, Philippine National Police and vigilante death squads have embarked on a campaign to slaughter drug users as well as drug dealers. Hitler massacred 3 million Jews. Psych. Now there's 3 million drug addicts. I'd be happy to slaughter them, he said in September. Last month, he told a group of jobless Filipinos that they should kill all the drug addicts. People have killed over 7,000 people, devastated poor areas of Manila and other cities, and used the drug war as a pretext to murder government officials and community leaders. New details of Trump's calls with Duterte come on the heels of the Philippines president's announcement that he is imposing martial law on an autonomous island of Mindanao, where government forces are battling Islamist rebels. If I kill thousands of people just to keep Philippines 10,000 times safer, I will not have doubts doing it, Duterte said. On April 29th call, Trump pointed out to Duterte that his predecessor in the White House had been critical of the rising body count on Duterte's reign in the Philippines, but that Trump himself gets it. I understand that and fully understand that, and I think we had a previous president who did not understand that, Trump said. But I understand that, and we have spoken about this before. When the Obama administration offers some tempered criticism of Duterte killing spree, Duterte called the U.S. president the son of a whore and an idiot who can go to hell. Speaking in Beijing in October, Duterte said, America has lost now. I have realigned myself in your ideological flow, and maybe I will go to Russia to talk to Putin and tell him that there are 3 of us against the world. China, Philippines, and Russia. It's the only way. However, in the wake of Trump's election, Duterte said, I don't want to quarrel anymore because Trump has won. On the April call, Trump addressed Duterte warmly by his first name, Rodrigo, and Duterte thanked Trump for his sentiment on Obama. This week, Duterte was slated to be in Russia for a 5-day trip, including a meeting with President Putin, whom he was called his favorite hero. On Tuesday, Duterte announced from Moscow that he was cutting the trip short in light of his declaration of martial law and fighting between the rebels and the government of Mindanao. Following the call last month, the White House publicly described a friendly conversation that culminated with the invitation for an Oval Office meeting to endorse Duterte is to endorse a man who advocates mass murder and who has admitted to killing people himself, said John Sifton, the Asia Advocacy Director for Human Rights Watch, reacting to the transcript. Endorsing his method is a celebration of the death of the poor and vulnerable. There's a photo, too, of the scene of the crime operatives team. Duran's police killings are widely recognized by the international community as an ongoing atrocity. The war on drugs has drawn condemnation from the United Nations Special Rapporteur on extrajudicial killings. And last month, a Philippine lawyer filed a complaint with the International Criminal Court accusing Duterte of mass murder and crimes against humanity. The State Department's annual human rights report acknowledges thousands of extrajudicial killings with impunity and calls them the country's chief human rights concern. Killing is nothing new for Duterte. His bloody record started in 1988 when he became the mayor of Davao City, a coastal city in the southern Philippines. During his tenure, he earned the nickname Death Squad Mayor. He titles he embraces. According to one former hitman, Duterte formed an organization called the Davao Death Squad, a mafia-like organization of plainclothes assassins that will kill suspected criminals, journalists, and opposition politicians, often from the backs of motorcycles. Multiple former members of the group have come forward and said that they kill people on Duterte's direct orders. Duterte has even bragged that he personally killed criminals from the back of a motorcycle. In Davao, I used to do it personally. He told a group of business leaders in Manila just to show to the police officers, that I can do it, while you can't. In 2016, Duterte campaigned a policy of mass extermination for anyone involved in the drug trade. I'd be happy to slaughter him. If Germany had Hitler, the Philippines would have me, Duterte said after his inauguration in September. Despite human rights concerns, the U.S. has long considered the Philippines a military ally, and under Obama, the U.S. gave countries' militaries tens of millions of dollars in weapons and resources per year. The U.S. government does not provide lethal weapon directly to the Philippine National Police, which has a decades-long history of extrajudicial killings. But it does allow U.S. weapons manufacturers to sell them directly. In 2015, the State Department authorized more than $250 million in arms sales from U.S. defense contractors to security forces in the Philippines. After Duterte's election, Obama State Department halted one sale of assault rifles to the Philippines, largely due to the objections of Senator Ben Cardin, Democrat from Maryland, the leading Democratic of the Senate, on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. The Philippines became a colony of the United States in 1898 as a result of the Spanish-American War. A long insurgency followed, and the country didn't win full independence until 1946. So, to all you folks out there that support this, you need to get the hell out of the United States. This is completely unacceptable, and I condemn this with a passion. And all those ass-white politicians, too, up in Washington, they have this double-speak fetish. I can see more people calling them out on this. Hey, don't get me wrong, man. I boldly bash Obama and his minions and what happened in Libya. I'm not afraid to say it's about Donald Trump or President Trump and his lackeys. You believe you're going to continue the drug war under your watch? Let me say something here, my friends. Because I remember there's even articles I've read, and I put this on my show, when Jeff Sessions want to believe that the Fed should raid states to have medical marijuana or recreational marijuana laws. All right, this is called a form of centralization, anti-10th Amendment stance. They need to study their history of prohibition that happened in the 20s. What did it achieve? Nothing. Who benefited? Criminals and corrupt governments. But I'm not. I won't be surprised if the jury has all the money in the world, probably doing his own deals, but he wants to monopolize. I wouldn't be surprised one bit. All you folks on the Trump train, you better be paying attention. And I'm very sincere when I say I'm an infidelic sentinel, or other words, a political atheist, a political infidel. Yes, I don't believe in political parties. I watch them. Keep tabs. Observe. That is my obligation. And it should be yours as well. Because it can screw any of us. It's like the war on terror. It's a conflict with ourselves. Suspected terrorists. Don't you get it? They go hand in hand. And the arms deals. Well, look what happened to Saudi Arabia, right? And now they've done it in the Philippines. Nothing new at all. This is why I believe we got to end the drug war in the United States. We got to get rid of these ass wipes. And people talk about the whole Russian tide. That's all hogwash, smoke and mirrors. This is more relevant. You Trump critics should be going after him on this. This is why I see a lot of doublespeak and corruption, hypocrisy. So I'm just going to continue on here. I know I am digressing. And it says right here, same thing from the same article, what Trump today said privately about the North Korean nuclear threat. President Donald Trump repeatedly addressed the possibility of a U.S. nuclear attack on North Korea in a private call last month with the Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte, according to the transcript, the call obtained by The Intercept. We cannot let a man with nuclear weapons let those on the loose like that. We have a lot of firepower, more than he has 20 times 20, but we don't want to use it, Trump told Duterte. In fact, the U.S. has 6,800 nuclear warheads, and North Korea is thought to have about 10. You will be in good shape, he added. We have a lot of firepower over there. We have 2 submarines, the best in the world. We have 2 nuclear submarines. Not that we want to use them all, Trump said. I've never seen anything like that, like they are. But we don't have to use this. But he could be crazy, so we'll see what happens. The call took place on April 29th. The transcript called official Philippine Department of Foreign Affairs document contains numerous typographical errors. Multiple government sources contacted by the Philippines news outlet Rappler, which collaborated with The Intercept on the story, confirmed its authenticity. During the call, Trump echoed his publicly stated position that he wants China to take the lead in addressing potential threats from North Korea. I hope China solves the problem. They really have the means because a great degree of their stuff come through China, Trump said. but if China doesn't do so, we will do it. Duterte then volunteered to call Chinese President Xi Jinping, adding, the other option is a nuclear blast, which is not good for everybody. Both leaders expressed a preference for avoiding nuclear confrontation, but nonetheless, Joe Carnacion, president of the Plowshares Fund and a leading expert in nuclear weapons, was alarmed by the exchange. Trump has describing disturbing tendencies to talk very cavalierly about nuclear weapons, and he has an impulse way from using them. Carnacion said he doesn't seem to understand the vast destructive nature of these weapons and the line he would be crossing by using them. During the Obama administration, Duterte made clear his disdain for the U.S. president, who he repeatedly called the son of a whore. The Obama administration's measures of criticism of Duterte's murderous war on drugs engaged the Philippine leader. At one point, Duterte threatened to say goodbye to a U.S.-oriented foreign policy in favor of a closer alliance with China. Beijing offered to train Philippine anti-drug forces tasked with carrying out what human rights advocates characterize as an extrajudicial killing campaign. Duterte welcomed Trump's election victory. Recently, he has publicly counseled restraint and de-escalation of tensions with North Korea, even to the point of criticizing the U.S. for its bellicosity, which is violence. There seems to be two countries playing with their toys, and those toys are not really to entertain, he said at an April news conference in Manila. During the call with Trump, however, Duterte has a different message, emphasizing that the North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un was a madman. He's playing with his bombs, his toys. From the looks of it, his mind is not working well. He might just go crazy one moment, he told Trump. Two leaders praised each other. Duterte encouraged Trump to keep the pressure on Kim Jong-un while offering to aid Trump in pressing China to bring its influence to bear on North Korea. Duterte's public announcement, rather than this private ones, are more in line with regional attitudes toward North Korea. North Korea has been saber-rattling for so long that its neighbors have largely decided that ignoring the provocations is the best path forward, a strategy that has been abandoned by Trump. Earlier this month, amid escalating tensions with North Korea, South Korean voters went to the polls in the presidential election and elect Moon Jae-in, a former human rights lawyer, in favor of dialogue and joint economic projects with North Korea, that's a good sign. I like that. In the conversation with Duterte, Trump asked for information about the region. What do you think about China? Does China have power over him? Trump asked. What's your opinion on Kim Jong-un, Rodrigo? Are we dealing with someone who is stable or not stable? He is not stable, Duterte answered. Yeah, but Duterte, he's the chosen one. He's the most smartest man. He is a saint, please. The Intercept also obtained a briefing document from the Philippines Department of Foreign Affairs dated several days after the call with Trump, which contains talking points for an upcoming call between Duterte and the Chinese President Xi Jinping. The document lists as a talking point that Duterte should call on all parties to exercise a restraint and level-headedness to avoid making the situation worse. The talking points not to mention Trump. So, interesting thing on here about this little conversation with North Korea. You may not be too crazy about them, and I know Moon Jae-in, wants to negotiate with them to live in have a more peaceful solution. Moon Jae-in, excuse me, and I would support that. People in Korea don't want a war, period. And North Korea has suffered since the Korean conflict. Okay? There's an article on there by the Intercept as well, and a few others. You know what? I might just add those in there as well as extra footnotes you can check out by antiwar.com and the Intercept. I'm just going to do that right now. All right, cool. So what I've done, and I just added two articles about why North Korea hates the U.S. and how the Korean War actually started, and by Intercept and antiwar.com. It's very good, memorable articles. You can check that out for yourselves. So that's like the main idea. objective. And of course, on the website, they do actually have a transcripts too to continue on part 3 of this conversation you had with Duterte, and you could actually read this for yourselves. All right, my friends, that is it. I thank everyone for listening. Plus, feel free to download and share this throughout your social media networks. If you have any questions, comments, or you want to send me something that's interesting or want to check out, whatever you do, please send your correspondences with decorum. You can be on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Tumblr, YouTube, Freedoms Network, Scene.life, Minds.com. Oops, sorry about that. Future Club, FutureNet.club, and Patreon.com, which is a donation site. Patreon.com/Loki/forward Loki Luck the Third with the 3 eyes all together. Okay, and I know I always gotta be more persistent at this. In addition, you can email me at LokiLuck3@gmail.com. Or you encrypted fans out there, LokiLuck03@protonmail.com. Okay? Once again, thank you for your time. Plus, always remember that the demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves, keep on spreading love, and may your guardian spirits be with you.